This may seem like such a simple conversation to have, and yet it is essential. It's really the only conversation, and it's the subject of relationship, of relativity, the relationship between the vibration of you and the vibration of your inner being. And when you accept that you're an extension of that, not a separation from that, but an extension of that, and to the degree that you allow the connection in the extension, in other words, you can be an extension of source and be so far extended and so then focused on humanine kind of things that you don't allow yourself awareness of the connection in the extension. And so from your perception, you are disallowing the connection from the extension. Do you see what we're getting at? It's always there. Your inner being is always vibrationally reaching to you. But if you don't perceive that your inner being is reaching, and if you don't perceive that it is there, then your perception is all that matters. It doesn't matter how much your inner being loves you if you don't know it. Because if you don't know it, then you don't let the good stuff in. And you blame whatever it is you want to blame for not having the success. In our way of saying it, the success that you're all reaching for is the feeling of that connection. So we think it's really interesting that the very first conversation we're having here today is with you, and you're not unlike so many others, who have a hard time accepting or even expressing that joy is the goal. That joy is the goal. Can you think of anything that you've ever wanted? Anything that was for any other reason than that you felt that you would feel better in the having of it? When you show yourself that it really is an easy situation to come into alignment with your inner being, because your inner being is never not focused upon you and never not extending to you. We're going to make this so simple it's going to feel annoying, but it would be like you dangling off a ledge, high-rise building, a cliff somewhere, and you're hanging on, and right now you've got a pretty good grip, and your inner being is right there, solid and sure, with a very good tether, and has the longest arm in the whole world and the strongest grip, and is reaching for you, and you're acting like it's hard. I can't reach you. Oh, here. I still 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 can't reach you. Well, you've got an opinion that is preventing you from the simplest thing in the world. Your inner being is coming right to where you are all day, every day, on every subject that matters to you, and you pretend like you can't find your inner being. Well, you're not pretending. You can't find your inner being if you haven't been practicing knowing that your inner being exists, if you haven't been noticing how often the clarity is there. You've let, and it's normal that you would do it, you've let your perception about this help misinform you. You think that because you can't see the help, that it's not there. You think that because it takes a little while for it to manifest in a way that makes it obvious, that it isn't there. But if you could walk away from this gathering here today with some sense that it's there and it's reaching for you, and you would just make the slightest bit of effort to accept that, well, what's that going to require? What's the one thing that you could do, that everyone could do, that would make the closing of that gap simple? What could you know? What could you try to know? What could you believe, or what could you hope to believe that would close that gap? The love of my inner being is constant for me, and I do not have to earn it. My world, the humans in my world, have trained me differently. They have sought my approval. They want me to approve of them, or they want to approve of me. They have motives, often, not all. There are a lot of them that are hooked up that act just like inner beings. But if you've let others who give you love and withhold it, and who give it to you and withhold it, and who show you that when you please them, they love you, but when you don't please them, they don't love you, and so you're all mixed up about what it takes to get love, then you might be superimposing all that crap over the way your inner being is. You might not know that your inner being loves you unconditionally, and always has and always will, and is always right there. and that you don't have to prove worthiness or earn worthiness. You just have to know that your inner being is there, and just let your guard down and take the help.